start letting go of your conspiracy theories. Said it's not serving you. He said the things that you need to know. I'm not saying there aren't certain conspiracies. Obviously,
Mhm.
the whole UFO cover-up is a conspiracy,
Mhm.
but said, but people get so caught up and make so many speculations about things that aren't true, and they get caught up in all of these conspiracy theories, some of which are even contradictory to one another, that he said you're being led down a path where it's not allowing you to understand what's actually happening. It's actually clouding your judgment to get caught up in all of these mishmash of conspiracy theories without any proof at all that what you're saying is happening is happening. So that's the first step he gave us all.
Mhm.
And subsequent steps are things about things like contacting your representatives to say that you prefer the idea of disclosure for open contact and releasing of information about what the government knows about UFOs. It's also things like, look, go and volunteer to help, feed the homeless and stuff like that. Get out of yourself when you don't know what to do, when you feel like you're depressed or you don't know what your passion is. Go and help people feed other people. Go and help people build homes for other people. Go and help with animal rescue organization. Get out of yourself and go help and be of service to others by joining organizations that are being of service to others, to get out of yourself and get and find who you are so that you can really lock into what's going on. The whole idea again of the thing that's coming up of no more secrets is obviously another step in this social experiment. It's all about really looking at what you are as a social being and changing your relationship to everything around you so that you are being your true self and that your vibration is going to be far more compatible with the idea of open contact when ETs are presented to society. So yeah, there's a series of steps in this Interstellar Alliance social experiment that are designed to help us raise our frequency and be more compatible to open contact. I think, like he says, there are other versions of Earth, there are other parallel reality versions of Earth, and some people may go in the direction of being on those versions of Earth that do require more resetting. But I think the opportunity is that for people who are willing to truly get in touch with who they are, be their true selves, be of service to humanity by acting on their passion in positive ways, I think this is the reset for them and probably the only reset that humanity of that ilk will require to really start evolving in the direction they need to in a more positive way. But there are those who may need more resets, but they'll go and shift to other versions of Earth simultaneously, and we simply won't experience them anymore. And they won't experience those that choose to go in a different direction. But I'm talking about the kind of shift where that person truly leaves your reality. There's just no way to even find them anymore. They're gone. Whether or not they actually physically died, whether or
Mhm.
not they have simply shifted into a reality that you cannot reach because you're not vibrationally compatible with them anymore. Now, again, the caveat is that for a while, we may still, even if we're shifting off like this, we may still be able to reconnect. But what we're saying is the shifts are getting farther and farther and farther apart. So reconnecting may take more doing, more intention, whereas down here it takes very little because you're still close together. But the farther apart you go, there will be a time, if you're truly shifting into different realities, where this may not exist anymore, where you simply will not know, where did they go? I can't find them. I have no resource to find them. There is no way they're accessible to me anymore. Now, again, that doesn't necessarily mean that they've shifted out of the same kind of reality you're in. There may be a purpose for not having contact with them. But on some examples, it will be because they are shifting to a completely vibrationally incompatible version of Earth. And it's simply not vibrationally possible for you to really make a connection to them and stay in the reality you prefer because they're in such a different vibration. So right now, what we're trying to do and what Bashar is telling us to do is, look, I've explained how this works. I've explained the splitting prism. I've explained all this shifting. This is your final time to try and make those connections again. This is why it's important for everyone to start talking to one another, no matter how polarized and divisive you are, to see if there is any chance you can find a common third reality in which you can actually both come together and create something positive for all of these people who have differing opinions, and start looking at the fundamental reasons why you've been polarized. So he's saying, now is the opportunity to come back together, talk to each other, create a reality where you can move forward together. That's a different reality than the one you thought you wanted, the one they thought they wanted. Create a new
Right.
reality, a third reality moving forward, so you can move forward together. There will be some people who can't do that or who won't do that. But here's the opportunity to do that. Start talking to each other. Start understanding why you believe what you believe. Start addressing the fundamental underlying reasons for why you think you need to believe that. Because very often the thing you're choosing as a surface reason for believing that can be done in any number of ways, and you can still fulfill your underlying wish, your underlying desire, by doing it in ways that are more compatible with one another rather than being so divisive. So now he's asking us, and again, this is another step in the Interstellar Alliance social experiment, to work together and figure out how can we move forward more compatibly, even with our differences. Because he's saying, it's not that you have differences that's the problem. It's just that you have to make your differences compatible. That's
Hmm.
all you have to do. And the one way to do that is to figure out what's the fundamental underlying reason that you have these differences, because mostly they're all the same for everyone. We want to be heard. We want to be loved. We want to belong. We want to feel that we contribute. All of those things can be done and fulfilled in any number of ways without necessarily believing this political idea or that social idea or that religious idea or what
Hmm.
have you. We have to get back to the basics of, why do we believe these things? What are we really trying to fulfill in our lives? And can we do it in a way that's more compatible with one another, as opposed to choosing things that just can't be done for one person or another?